I'm not a crook.
Thanks very much. Speaking of Jack Cafferty, let's go to Jack Cafferty. He is standing by. Jack.
That's not a paraphrase. That's the title
That's
of my
a direct quote of your best-selling book. It's getting ugly out there. All right,
there you go.
You're right.
You know, that stuff's dishonest. I mean, why don't we just start there? Planting questions is dishonest. Speaking in front of groups of soldiers is dishonest. The public is up to here with dishonest. One of our nation's top intelligence officials says it's time for people in the United States to change their definition of privacy. Donald Kerr is the principal deputy director of national intelligence. He says privacy in this country can no longer mean anonymity. Instead, it should mean that government and businesses properly safeguard people's private communications and financial information. Of course, I trust the government to do that. Don't you? This comes as members of Congress are taking a second look at that Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act. Remember last summer when it was threatened they might be held and not be able to go on their break in time? They hastily changed the law and gave the government powers to eavesdrop inside the United States without a warrant, as long as one of the parties was reasonably believed to be located outside the U.S. Reasonably believed. That's a loophole you could drive a train through. The original 1978 law required a court order for surveillance conducted on U.S. soil to protect Americans' privacy. Kerr points out younger generations have a different idea of what privacy is. Millions of people give up anonymity to social networking websites like MySpace and Facebook, and to online commerce, where sites reveal information such as personal statistics and credit card numbers that used to be very closely guarded information. The question then this hour is this. A top intelligence official says it's time for people in the United States to redefine privacy. Why should we? Email us at CaffertyFile, CNN.com, or go to CNN.com/CaffertyFile. You know, this stuff worked for more than 200 years, and now suddenly it's not sufficient anymore? I don't believe that, Wolf.
All right, Jack, stand by, because you're going to be part of the roundtable coming up in a few moments here. As Jack.
Wolf, the question this hour is a top intelligence official says that it's time for people in the United States to redefine privacy. The question is, why should we? Bill writes from Florida, and he's got it. He said, you have to be a member of this administration to have any privacy, and they're the ones who ought to be public. Len in New York, it's time to redefine citizenship. Our laissez-faire citizenship has permitted lawmakers to turn into lawbreakers. The rest of our rights after privacy will only be lost that more quickly if we don't fight back against government abuse. Matthew writes, no, Jack, we shouldn't redefine privacy, and we should vote somebody in who will protect it. By that somebody, I mean Ron Paul. Brett in Ohio, it's an absolute joke and it's ridiculous what's happening. They want to redefine privacy. Since when did they become the leaders of Webster's Dictionary? We need privacy. The U.S. government should not be dictating what privacy is and is not. Instead, they should be safeguarding what privacy has meant for the last 230 years in this country. Mike in New Jersey, good God, I wouldn't want my personal information to get into the hands of a bunch of unsavory characters, so I better do everything in my power to keep it out of the government's hands. Kendi, Delaware, Ohio, I suppose this top intelligence official would like us to change our definition of privacy to match the one written in crayon on the Oval Office wall by the Bush administration. And Janine in Hampshire, Texas, redefining privacy is a little bit like redefining virginity. Once it's gone, it's gone. There's no way to get it back. Leave our privacy alone. If you didn't see your email here, you can go to CNN.com/CaffertyFile. We post more of them online along with video clips of the Cafferty.